Так, секрет, ребят, с вами серии, да, что я погнал немножко. Да, чемпионат мира начинается на 9 минут даже. Задержка будет более-менее хотя бы минимальной. Сейчас, погоди, тут еще накрою.
Et leurs adversaires, ils nous viennent d'Amérique du Sud, la troisième site d'Amérique du Sud, des novices sur cette scène, ici à Paris, qui vont tenter de faire tomber la top seed européenne. Ils représentent 3 pays, Argentina, Brésil, Chile. Make some noise for Zest!
Alonso, no one, and Loco, if you guys are not familiar with them, they got third seed in the Latin South region. Thoughts about Wesley as well, that is not going to be playing in this match, and they will be sitting on the bench. It's not a team that has achieved a whole lot already. They are third seed, did not win a single monthly final once, made it to the grand finals of a monthly. Didn't make it to Worlds last year, didn't make it to MSI. This is their first big event, and I mean, it doesn't get a whole much bigger than this.
Keyword yet. They have not achieved this much greatness yet. This is their chance to claim it on the big stage and a potential to continue a continuous curse. If from EMEA, Tribe Gaming EU, they need to break the EU curse. Every single year since 2019, the top team for EMEA has gone down the first round in Worlds. Tribe Gaming EU, they have to close it out here. And Zest, they're an unknown enemy, but they are also severely the underdog in this matchup.
Oh, absolutely. I think one thing that kind of gives me some more hope for Zest as well is their coach, Yannick, which, if my memory serves me correctly, was the coach for Bunker at Worlds last year. Brought them there, so he could maybe, you know, have gone there in just the best form, the best conditions to perform. I think that Tribe Gaming EU, without a doubt, are favorites here, but we have seen Tribe choke and fold here and there, so gotta be careful, you know, try to get that good, solid, early start. Whereas on Zest, I mean, they want exactly the same, try to scare away Tribe Gaming, convince them that, you know, maybe they're not quite good enough to go further. Tribe Gaming is a very emotional team, and they get hugely affected by momentum and how good their opponents feel about themselves, how confident they get. So I think Zest, if they really want to impress Tribe, they gotta strike hard and early and be loud while doing so.
No doubt, and you know, as optimistic as I would love to be for Zest, you gotta be realistic as well. If we just look at the self-reported scrims heading up onto the World Finals in preparation phase, an unfortunate 24% win rate for Zest in those scrims. That's not really great. And you talk about Tribe EU having sort of a maybe a weakness to confidence on the opposing side. I'm gonna be real with you, man. I would not be confident up here if I were Zest. One thing they can be confident in, though, is that they're an unknown enemy, right? They're coming in with not a whole lot known about them, not a whole lot of background studies to be done on them, and also probably a whole lot of work being done in the dojo, right? The regional meta, and bringing out something that we don't usually see in the EMEA scene.
Yeah, you're right. To be fair, Tribe is not really a team to underestimate their opponents. They do have their moments where they look a bit more shaky, and this year has been an interesting one because they qualified for World's Best Seed. That's their best result ever.
Даже наши болеют.
A little bit of a struggle to make it all the way and secure that spot into the World Finals, but this year much more secure and confident.
О, наш бренд любимый.
Going to translate now in their opening match. The expectations are high. The Tribe fans, the Tribe staff as well on screen here, recognizing a whole bunch of them: Kaner, Cody, I'm getting confused, but a whole bunch of them,
There are a whole lot of them as well. Everyone's showing out here, and I mean that's one of the amazing things about having a LAN is that you get to have the live studio audience in here too, and everyone coming out to support their favorite teams too. A lot of support on the side of Tribe. Once again, I mean, if you haven't submitted your predictions already, you gotta do so on event.brawlstars.com. That way we can accurately gauge what the audience is thinking in terms of predictions for this match. But I mean, we already know what the casters are thinking. Casters are thinking that this is going to be a very confident and dominant match for Tribe Gaming EU, but hey, I mean, upsets are always welcome. We haven't seen huge upsets just yet. If we do, it's going to get started here on Safe Zone, our very first map.
Oh, yeah, that is brutal. 85% of you guys at home are predicting Tribe Gaming EU to take this one home, and I can't blame you. I can't blame you. I think the odds are maybe a little bit more favorable to Zest than that, but it's still going to be tough. We're kicking things off on safe zone. Our bands on the side of Tribe Gaming EU are going to be Otis, Max, and 8-Bit. Zest will be banning out Bell, Brock, and Bonnie. Just as a little stat here, their win rates of both teams in Heist is 46% for Tribe, 50 for Zest. So arguably a slightly better game out on the side of Zest. But to be fair, you know, it's stats that come from facing different opponents in different regions. So we'll see how that actually goes down in practice. Tom gonna be first picking that Ruffs, and it's one we've seen quite a bit on Safe Zone lately.
And he's a very popular wall breaker as well, and Safe Zone wall break is going to be absolutely paramount to a lot of strategies, especially if you want to run something effectively up the right lane. Rico absolutely comes to mind. He's not banned out here, and he could be picked if, of course, things are broken open early on. Colonel Ruffs doesn't get free wall breaking. Even breaking over the walls might even be a hazard now that B has been picked on the opposing side.
I honestly like the B here. I think it's a pretty good reactionary pick. Obviously doesn't do well at all against Ruffs. No. But I'm assuming that the next one probably will cover that. Griff will be a much better option here to complement it. And have that free roll break available with the piggy bank. Open up your right side of the map. Make sure you have just easy access to your lane, and especially early access compared to the Ruffs that needs a super before you can open up that wall.
And great for denying things that get in close range versus you as well. This roster has been known to run Daryl here pretty reliably. Carl's still an option that we saw absolutely wreck house yesterday. Piper and Colette actually is quite interesting. Colette, of course, colossal damage on that safe, especially if she gets damage boosted by Colonel. I would say it's more likely that Piper gets damage boosted since she's less likely to die with the treat over her head. Drage on the Piper, though, always one that you want to be watching out for, but there's still one option left on the side of Zest for a counter pick.
Yeah, honestly, I love this draft on the side of Tribe. Daryl is going to be our final pick here for Zest. I like it too. I think both teams have a lot of merit here. Lena has a very good matchup against Daryl. Overall, I mean, Lena on the Colette can be an absolute shred. I think what I like about Tribe Gaming EU's combat strategy is they're going for very comfortable picks for them, right? We all know Tom's Ruffs, Lena's Colette, and Drage's Piper, and they are staying in their comfort zone, which is important when it comes to
Надо болеть, каждый не забывать. Тебя не забываем нажимать на синий значок, если кто-то забывает, то это дает 10 очков. У меня уже 1000, я уже получил все, так что мне уже без разницы. Не, ну блин, ох, блин, ну это вообще никто не ожидал. Больше да. Самое интересное, то, что как бы персонаж, большинство выбили команду Торбей, но блин, сейчас вообще просто капец для команды Торбей, вот потому что они пробили защиту, это вообще, мания, блин, получается это, конечно, какой-то капец, никто не ожидал этого, что сразу же первая битва и все. Конец. Это хотя бы какой еще один. Так что да, если что слышно, это
gives him some slightly better positioning. A good tag onto Loco, but now there is a charge shot on that B. Alonso has a super as well. We need to be careful on the side of Tribe Gaming U. There's not a whole lot of room to maneuver in this first game as we head towards the final minute. A super from the now to go in and out and get some damage done on that save. They have a lot of catching up to do still.
Well, now that Drake is all powered up, he's definitely going to be a threat. No one tries to push him around the left side. Is able to get some damage in. Also denied by Tom with some wall break. Still stays alive, but the sandbags appear to come in clutch. Alonso also gets a kill here. Lena has a super to work with as well, but he's got to be careful versus Loco, who outranges him a lot. It's going to be a pretty unwinnable lane matchup for him, especially early with no one coming around the left side, rather right side. Drage, though, thankfully is able to pick up the supply drop at mid, a dash forward as well from the nut. But they got a long way to go on this safe and short time to get there.
Не, ну конечно, о нет, о нет.
It's going to be confirmed by
Давайте
Loco as
посмотрим
Alonso
видео.
falls on the left side to Tom, and Tom is utilizing those sandbags with the damage gear as well to get that extra damage. It's only 6% now, separating both teams. Who is going to go home with that first game? The jumping from Drake doesn't get a shot off, and now with the super gets shut down. And that is going to be Zest taking game number 1.
What am I watching? This is the exact opposite of what we expected. However, if you want to get that momentum started versus a team that is particularly sensitive to momentum, you got to get it done in game 1. What a way to start things off. Just the diff on the defense of Tribe Gaming EU. Zest, they already have their eyes set once again at mid. Alonso is going to be breaking open that left wall fairly early on, but Tom, he's going a lot more aggressive this time, trying to line up the shots. Great dodges from Alonso. In fact, he's dodging shots left, right, and center. Speaking of center, here's Drage getting one tap on a Loco, just one tap away from picking up a kill. Good take there with the honeypot. Loco manages to stay alive as well. Charge being a damage clear active, but no 4K contact.
All right, let's see. So far, not nearly as much of a problem in the early game for Tribe. It does make sense though, right? You have the roughs, which doesn't get the free wall break, so it's easier for that right lane on the side of Zest, as well as those buffs that come from the trees from roughs. They're going to take a while to build up. First kill here from Drage onto Alonso as that left side is going to be weakened up. And a chance now for Tom to push forwards, try to get some connections towards the safe. Still no shots connecting on safe just yet. Those walls will be taken out by Drage. See if that is going to be favorable for them as Alonso creeps up onto the right side. Wants to get up close, but those stacks from Tom are going to keep him at bay for now, at least, as no one also has that role available. We know how deadly that can be. The slow doesn't quite connect, and now using a super as well is able to find Alonso. Another kill from Drage onto no one, and it's only Loco left alive. A good cleanup from Tribe Gaming as they get some damage on safe and take over the lead.
Luna has his next super free, 10% off the safe. Down goes Drage as well. Loco's taking like a madman. Here comes a slow until the 9. No one gets to get all over the safe. Tons of damage being knocked off, but still not surpassing what Tribe Gaming EU has laid possess. But I stand corrected. No one's going crazy. Contact of the gadget on there as well. Tribe Gaming EU now standing at 41% to 58, and Alonso continues the onslaught.
Zest are threatening Tribe on this first set. A dangerous position for this game start for Tribe Gaming. Drage, a good kill onto Loco. 25 seconds left now. A super from the 9. Good connection onto Alonso, onto the safe as well. I think someone creeped up on the right side. Is going to get to the safe. There's 2 players from Tribe that have access to that save, getting some damage down as well, but it's still Zest in the lead for now, and we head towards our final 15 seconds.
Got a body block here. Loco doesn't have too much health to work with, though. Tom and Drake are tossing everything and everything on that save that they can. 11 to 12, 1% left. There's not enough time for Zest to push us back to Tribe safe, and it's going to a tied upset.
Oh my goodness. This opening set is fantastic already, and let's just appreciate that Daryl pick into the Colette as well. The confidence from Zest, and I mean everyone had their doubts. We know we have a match in our hands here already. Let's see who takes set number 1 between Tribe Gaming, EU, and Zest.
Little lane switch here too. Alonso now takes the right side early on. Wondering he's going to be breaking open that wall if he so pleases. No one also on the left side here. Could come the piggy bank. He's going to heal up a little bit before popping that gadget. It looks like gadget popped also. Loco is going to lose that honey pot. Here's a wall break. Yeah, Drake is just going to do him a favor and save him a gadget as well. Alonso, thankfully, is able to avoid a lot of that damage, and Tom switches over to the lane. Here's some more wall break as well. It's going to be great for dealing with no one. A kill onto Alonso. Roll in from no one. He's looking for damage, but Tom's taking it pretty well. Another kill onto Loco. And Tribe Gaming EU, they're powering right through. In fact, penetrating as well for 10% off that safe, and 15 already knocked off the Zest safe.
What a start here from Tribe. Did not take a single percent on that save. We saw in game 1 how devastating those pushes from Zest can be. And this homemade recipe from Drage with a follow-up connection onto no one. Getting that tag up, and the buff is on both Drage and Lena at this point, which is going to help massively in those one-on-one matchups. 20% extra damage, definitely something substantial. Super does connect from Alonso, but so does the shot from Drake that takes him down. A honeypot to tank for Loco. He's in an awkward position, gets shut down. No one tries to get to the safe. We'll get some decent damage on safe, but what a lead from Tribe now.
Zest, they are trailing by a large margin here. They have to get some damage in on that enemy save. Loco's doing his best to defend. Lanad's going to try and lock himself in this back right corner. Alonso's just waiting out the gotcha gadget. Lanad's still going to benefit from some bonus damage, though. Big stuff in. Alonso gets the defense, but Tom and Drage are here to finish it off, and it's a Tribe Gaming EU victory.
Итак, короче, наша ТРБ взяла, Tribe, точнее, даже взяла первый же свой, я уже забыл, первый сет, то этот режим 2-1 в пользу Tribe. Если что, это европейская команда, а вот наша нами будет участвовать, точнее, сражаться с американской. Но как бы это же самое. То же самое.
In action, it was just endless aggression onto that save and some solid damage overall. Where Zest seemed to really have that struggle was once things pushed up to mid, and especially once the supply drops were powering up Drage and even Lanad too, but especially Drage tapping things at long range seriously prevented the B from doing what B is usually supposed to do, keep things at long range.
Мне на самом интересно то, что как бы первая катка же самая очень интересно была в том плане, то, что как бы вся надежда думали, то, что как бы Tribe не выиграет, а ЗТ именно. Это вообще капец было.
Wow, it was close, but the stats, they tell a different story here. 17 kills on Drage, 10 on Tom. Lanad a little bit behind, but does have a decent bit of damage as well. I think no one struggled to really find, you know, any sort of connections after those Daryl rolls, and it's a problem.
Что за покемон? Это нормальный покемон, а что? У вас есть претензии к ним? Ну, во-первых, это Brawl Stars. И, к примеру, причем не считаю. That trap in the first set where Zest, you know, they win the first game. It was a stomp. They looked much better, and Tribe did not. Там у нас горячая зона. Вопрос. Подожди, как бы я честно не знаю, кто из них кто. Я только недавно вот, и получается, активирую спортивную ассоциацию. Ну, в том плане, что стримил это. В смысле, как покемон. Нормально выглядит? Типа, как бы, если ты смотрела трансляцию по Brawl Stars, ты должна увидеть это.
Anyway, Stu, I definitely like here. You're able to bob and weave in and out of that point. You're able to chase down tanks that could be particularly troublesome. I don't necessarily expect to see that here. Poco's actually going to be the response, in fact, and this one is a little bit worrisome for me when Stu is in the mix, but should have seen it coming from a mile away because B has been banned on the side of Zest. They fully intend on running a...
Сейчас можно пока спокойно покушать.
This has some real potential on the side of Zest. I love this too, don't get me wrong. I think it's one of the most dominant picks on this map. You can just get those wiggles and, you know, dash left and right in the zone, stay there forever. Speed zone still strong, not nearly as strong as it used to be, but it can still help out massively.
Не, ну а вдруг?
Poco, an absolute threat on this map. Wonder why they
Не, про Брежу я такой не говорю.
To be completely fair, I think that would have been a potential explosive pairing, but I do respect the Gil here as well. I mean, obviously, you know, you want to control the zone. Nothing better to get you out of the zone than a Gale.
I'm going to go out on a limb here and expect that they're running the jump pad for a little bit of extra momentum into the mid area. Perhaps it could also help to counter whatever they might be going for in tandem with the Poco because they do have last pick. But here comes out one tank counter at minimum. Tom's also going to be a pretty strong tank counter here because, well, you're never able to hit him because he always stays out of your range. Drage is going to have tremendous range here as well. And Amber, at least in... You know, I hail from the North American region, and in North America, you always ban Amber. Here's Carl as well, a particularly tanky pick that's going to give Amber a lot of trouble here, actually.
Carl was the most picked brawler yesterday, I believe, or at least up there. I mean, no one performed phenomenally yesterday. Now, will perform as well as Tempo did yesterday on that Carl pick? There's only one way to find out, but yeah, this is going to be an interesting one for sure. I like what I'm seeing on both sides. I think it's a bit more traditional on the side of Tribe Gaming, but we do have
получится самая жаркая горячая зона на данный момент.
I could see it catching them off guard.
Especially if no one is constantly jumping in low.
Ладно, я понял. Не забывай нажимать на секрет. Если не имеется в виду.
Thankfully, some healing comes in from Alonso. Here's the super in and the gadget paired with it, but no one, he's still struggling to get some kills here. Tribe Gaming EU, they refuse to let this point behind.
Кто-то даже здесь нашел, вот, как всегда, не нужно вести, не нужно вести, да.
Advantage of Tribe and playing max range like that is going to be a complicated affair. No one does manage to find a kill on top on the right hand side. No one going in, no one finds the kill, and that is going to be enough to get a couple more percentages on the board for Zest. They're not
Да мне пока не надо.
just yet. They still have a decent bit of catching up to do.
Ну, можно и так, если хочешь. Не, ну хотя что, вот, если смотреть вот, даже вот по игре, то Трайпа более помощнее, можно сказать.
Here comes the ego down to protect him a little bit, but it's not going to offer too much defense versus Carlin is piercing damage, nor versus Alonso. A little burn onto no one and a focus down on the right side. Tribe Gaming EU begin to win back this zone. There's the team wipe, and they take this one back.
Big team wipe from
Zest.
Exactly. So sorry, from Tribe. Exactly what they needed right here, right now, as they're getting closer and closer to the finish line. Another jump pad plays down, and that is low HP. Drage trying to keep some control of the zone here, but Alonso and Loco are doing a good job as well. Drage finds
Не, ну все, короче, это победа, да. Чистая победа.
And it's all up to no one here to stop them from closing it out. Does find one kill and now was able to get it all the way to 90%. Tom, incredibly low HP, should get cleared up there, and eventually Loco does find a kill. It's incredibly close, and now Zest are in control of the zone. This is going to be the final fight to determine who takes game number one of top. So Loco pulls, gets Drage away. They're both in his own 1%, and no one does it. He's gonna
Это вот капец, если честно, мы думали, что Zest победила. Уже, ну, если так говорить, первая катка в этом втором жизни будет, да. Давайте так будем. Сейчас вот начинается битва.
No one is seriously stuck in there at the end, getting that control towards the end and getting in close range versus some brawlers that struggle to pump out the DPS when someone is right on top of them, especially Tom, who was an absolute powerhouse in the last game. But this time, Zest, not only are they going to get that early zone control, but they're holding on to it way better than they did in game
Сейчас вообще самое быть, наверное, более интереснее, ибо же Трайпа также выигрывает, и с этим режиме спокойно выигрывать. Нет, хотя что, блин, скоро Новый год надо готовиться. Мне бы тоже надо готовиться, там, нарисовать один хороший. Ну, не знаю, как получится.
One big puddle from Tom into the mid as well. If he gets the burn, he does connect in onto Alonso. That is gonna be a kill. Loco in a 1v2.
Не, ну да, вообще молодцы.
In favor of Tribe Gaming, and they have the lead. They have zone control. This is looking excellent for them.
Вот знаете, типа, большой палец. Куда? Ну, немножко смешно выглядит на данный момент.
Protective pirouette is supposed to shield you from a lot of damage, and it just came a little bit too late. Alonso also going down Loco. He's just a smidge away from.
Нет, так выигрывает этот момент, наверное. Не, будем говорить точно, и точка.
They're both super low. No one's gonna go for it, but once again, bursted down by Tom. Tribe Gaming EU, they lead confidently, but they need to win back this mid control.
Wow, what a lead from Tribe. Zest was a decent retake, but not one that seems to be holding for long now. Has been struggling much more this game as well. Tribe has done an amazing job at shutting him down. He goes in for a final attempt at pushing Tribe back, but not a successful one. Tribe tie things up, and again, we are going to game 3.
Это не кажется ли это либо наш, либо не знаю, кто это.
Versus Amber, he should be able to gadget in and then immediately super, but you can just sense the pressure that Tribe is applying here because, frankly, that's
да, забыл еще нажать. У нас что? У нас последний карта, если не ошибаюсь. И это... не, походу. Это походу...
Zone control now, Alonso burning down, and will end up dropping as now Tribe have a solid foothold in the mid. Zest need to be incredibly careful. They don't want to give this one away.
Нормально. Ничего не уграет.
twice in a row would be devastating, but another double burn from Tom. And that is going to be a follow-up cleanup from Tribe Gaming, as it's only Loco left alive, and just barely poorly timed respawns. They do manage to keep Loco up for now. It's going to try to heal up. Alonso low goes for
О, сейчас что-то пролагало. Сейчас момент где-то был.
But every time he gets stacked so low HP before he can do anything. And it seems like Tribe are just running away with this game and then with this set potentially.
Zest here, they're getting staggered so hard as they come in one by one. Thankfully, they're going to regroup.
Не, ну вот это вообще что-то вот уже что-то на изи. Вот знаете, типа не в русской не пословице, как это. Говорил один князь. С мечом к нам идете, а то от этого ничего погибнет. И как там? Сейчас найду эту фразу. Это, если не ошибаюсь, Рюрика какого-то. Эх, блин, не дам побольше еще был. Сейчас, погодите.
You know, quite tough losses too. The first one in Heist was a bit of a stomp, a bit of a surprising one too, and that second one, in the second set, it was a huge clutch. And yet, games 2 and 3, they managed to just make a night and day difference, coming much more confident, pop off, hit those shots, keep them away from the objective, and dominate. Tribe Gaming playing fantastically here, but as you said, Zest catching everyone off guard, because talking to the players, talking to everyone here at the World Finals, most people's thoughts were Zest were maybe, you know, bottom of the round of 16, or maybe 1 or 2 spots up, but they were around the bottom of people's rankings, and they are definitely
Александр Невский был.
at least a 2 for a set.
Его
Not the ideal place to find yourself in, not the ideal place to be told that you are at the very bottom, and we've been proven wrong, right? Everyone here has been proven wrong, but the ultimate way to do it is to get some wins on the board. We see some games up there. We need to see sets. We need to see this go to at least a set.
Ладно, хорошо, если что буду.
Truly prove themselves versus this roster.
Сейчас на демофазы. Очень хороший.
The pressure, it was clearly mounting so much. Some blunders started appearing there towards the end of that last set. Yes, it was pretty much all but lost for Carl there, but not being able to get that gadget around the
с мячом идет, от мяча и погибнет.
They had to work so hard, they had to play so well to get to this stage. It's got to be some external force causing that stuff to happen.
No, you make a valid point, and honestly, I think looking at the draft, I think the call was a final pick, right, for Zest. So when you have a final pick, and it's probably the least impactful one on the entire map, if they manage to rectify, I feel like they really could have just taken that set. So a bit sad for them, because they've had a lot of opportunities to win those 2 first sets, and they've been so close to doing so. And yet, it's Tribe up 2-0 now, as we have a Gene first pick.
Самое интересное, то, что как бы не показали сильно, то, что он не открыли. Не, ну как напоминает, это почти одна и та же карта. Разве? Ну, это круто, если честно. И сразу же выбрали. Как-то быстро, если честно. Мне типа, знаешь, типа работают быстро одновременно. А это что-то долго.
How exactly do you counter the brawlers on the enemy team? Already, a thrower has been picked. Tribe Gaming EU need to start cooking up some ways of playing up versus that brawler.
For me, Gene is just such a strong brawler on this map. Whether it's the vision gear that enables you to just have so much info on your opponents.
Кирит какого-то. Теперь газ. Очень интересная команда, если честно.
And Gus picked up by the side of Tribe. They've been loving those 2 brawlers in the last couple of months, and understandably so. Gus, as a support brawler,
интересно будет сейчас вот последняя битва. И кто у нас идет по счету?
A perfectly capable duelist. If you hit those shots, pop a gadget, claim a kill, and it's as simple as that. Otis is going to be the final pick on the side of Zest. Any comps your favor here, Ready?
I definitely am more used to and more adapted to what Tribe Gaming EU has to offer, though I think that this might be a pretty inventive approach from Zest, because I think the pretty clear strategy here is that Tribe Gaming EU, they intend on, at least as a last-ditch effort perhaps, throwing that shield onto Drage. He gets passive healing because he's Griff. He does great damage in close range because, yeah, he's Griff.
Oh, you know,
and Lotus's intention is to silence him up. He's what? Yeah, he's got the money on lock. Okay, let's check out what Zest has to offer. Already, up the left lane, a little wall break as well.
Естественно, то они начинают. О, как-то... О, все начинается, какой-то капец. Естественно.
It worked. Looking at the positioning from Zest now, they are all the way back in their spawn. No one was a big tag onto Lena. Lena is able to pull out and stay careful.
Мне что-то немножко залагалось, если честно.
A massive control advantage in favor of Tribe, but at least HP-wise, Zest have managed to recover without losing a single player. Need to be careful, and now does have a super now as well. We know how devastating those can be in the late stages of those rounds. Still working towards that pool, and on the side of Zest, they do have two supers as well. So might have to go for a ticket here as Lena is getting dangerously close, and wow, beautiful teamwork and connections on the side of Zest, but a pool.
А, погоди. А че не показывали не ту карту? Все, последний удар, все. Просто капец.
Attempt here from Loco in the 1v2, but not a successful one, unfortunately, for Zest, and that is going to be some lost utility as well. But surely he's still fairly close to his next super 2, so that shouldn't be the biggest problem. Drage does have a pool, so Zest cannot afford to overextend.
It's been the theme this entire match. Zest, they look so good, but they need to get some wins here.
Вот, сейчас. У нас третья партия, третий матч будет.
And that is the least optimal situation for Zest. Still, though, they have to find some control. Alonso is going to be doing his best to keep Tom back and keep him isolated. Ready to go at a moment's notice. Drage also has a pull ready to go as soon as
для новогоднего арта. Ну, шапку, думаю, и переделать одежду. Все, больше ничего. Это вот новогодний арт для меня.
Taking a little bit of damage, gonna place down the tick head. Is it gonna be enough for Drake to take it down? He falls. That is
Минус один. Оставьте один.
And it's only Tom in a 1v3 finds one. Can he find another? No, he won't. And this time around,
Как-то жестоко.
it's gonna be Loco to close it out. 1-1 in this game.
Great game sense there as well. They knew that they
Очень сильно подловили на этом.
into Drage to take him down in spite of the shield, and Alonso off of that has also cycled his super out once again. No one has his super too, but he's got to get some brawlers in closer range in order to make use of it, and he has to be careful about the looming threat of Drage. He could be anywhere inside of his
Кстати, вот самое интересное, то что тот чел, который вот... А, вот это вот, который. Если не видно, конечно, мышку. А, есть мышка. Что-то там не было.
Drage also has a super right to go. Same situation as last time, and now we have to see the pull. Oh, it was a bait. Drage, look at super. Here we go. Almost a kill onto Lena, and it's still a tie game.
Oh my goodness, the teamwork on Tribe to make it work. But a beautiful strategy from Zest too. Lena that was muted and could not deal with the tick. Had the pull.
Не, ну сейчас минус один, это хорошо.
Disaster strikes for Zest as Tribe Gaming have the man advantage. The super from Lena to close it out. No one in a 1v2.
Все, победа.
A chance. It's gonna be match point for the boys in red.
We talked about it. Pressure, it is absolutely mounting. There is no other way about it, but we see it in the gameplay too. Drage, he flashed his super to bait the tick super out so it couldn't block the pull. Genius stuff, but
последняя катка, если не ошибаюсь.
is nervous enough to make a trigger happy mistake like that. Let's see it though. Tribe Gaming EU, they're at match point. They have to rise to the challenge and claim this and push us to yet another match point in order to get a set victory.
Что, простите, это просто случайно.
The final chance for Zest, or at least their final life, as they cannot afford to lose either of the next two games of this set. Might not even get to play both. They have good control right now. Tribe pushed back and uncomfortable.
Не, ну хотя, блин, одного уже все. А, минус один, это вообще. Это 2 на 2.
That leaves things open in a 2v2. Lena is shield
Надо только захватить одному, и все будет круто. Ты был там. Не, ну хотя что, блин, это самая хорошая команда, говорит. Большинство говорит. Все, мне сзади, давай! Давай! Не, ну хотя можно оттики, но лучше не надо. Блин. В смысле? Можно посмотреть видео, там вот оно что. Ну, большинство за кого-то. О, давай, давай! О, молодец! Остался один. Вон, Би осталось. И с этого самое интересное, они еще успевают еще стикеры отправлять. Это вообще так. Это как просто? Это как так возможно?
And they'll be qualifying for the quarterfinals. Well, on the side of Zest, for what it's worth, they have 3 supers to work with. Loco's going to go for a silence, missed super onto Lena. Drage also has a super of his own. He has that pull ready to go, but no one can block it, so he's going to try and play aggressive. Drage might try and block.
Не, ну сейчас, если сейчас выиграют катку, то все. Они 100% придут, да. В полуфинал. Ну, почти там. 1-12, если не ошибаюсь, финала.
Yeah, that 3 super advantage has shifted around. Now we have 3 on the side of Tribe. Who is gonna take the game and potentially the match here? As Tribe are still in a good position. Let's see if Zest can even get out of that spawn position. They are starting to move back towards the mid. Eventually, the gas will force them to. Alonso is very low HP. Some good tanking from Loco to keep him up as the thick head comes in. Connection out to Tommy's low HP. It's a bit of a mess.
Все, победа. 100! Это что за капец?
They refuse to go down without a fight, without at least one.
То есть у Зеста что-то, знаете, как типа, и все.
Well, maybe no one himself, right? But no one saw this coming. Zest, they gotta get one more game victory in here to push us to a.
Если честно, это очень интересно.
On their side, go for the
вопрос как? Я думаю, сейчас ты бы... Как Tribe Gaming более-менее хотя бы отыграться, но что-то вообще нет. А вот сейчас будет... О, все, это победа, чисто, говорю вам. Да, если громко будет, простите, соседи, просто слишком громкий. Все, победа. А, нет, надо еще одну победу. Вы знаете, тут напряженная музыка еще не играет, это капец. Потому что это последняя надежда. О! Блин, это было вообще... Минус, хорош! А это не хочет сдаваться, зараза.
Or is this where Zest falls? They fought brilliantly and they can be proud of their performance today, taking already 3 games off Tribe Gaming, the #1 seed in EMEA. But this is going to be an incredible challenge for Loco. I don't know.
Не, ну сейчас самое напряженное, блин, потому что как бы... Все, победа! Победа. Проходит дальше финал. А до 12, если не ошибаюсь. Все. Кто ставит на Tribal Gaming Kill? Просто молодцы, ребята.
record, that's got to be something that they are proud of. Number 3 seed in LATAM South. No one expected them to be bringing out this kind of performance, and yet they stood up to the Titans. They gave it their best shot. They got some game victories as well.
Man, there was not all that much in it, considering it's a 3-0.
Yeah.
It does not do Zest
Не, ну
justice.
ты чё, блин? У меня уже полностью там забито уже. Не могу даже показать, если надо. Сейчас, пару секунд. То есть вот у меня уже есть, в принципе, тут уже 1000, то есть мне уже не надо тут. Сейчас, не строим. Угу.
In the end, Tribe able to just adapt better and learn from their mistake, adjust, and that made all the difference today.
Absolutely, and I think adaptation.
По поводу завтрашнего не знаю даже. Если что, голосую за Дрейк. Это более-менее хотя бы. Ну там просто голосовали все. Потому что у нее больше актов. Хотя бы 100 поинтов дают за это. Вообще классно. Затем кто там ЗТЕ или кто там ЦСК или как его там называют следующая команда. Сейчас глянем. А, да, что-то вообще не то открыл. Надо закрыть. Я случайно тусить. Сейчас глянем. Там что, Зета против Champions Gaming. Будем нажать. Посмотрим, готовы. Вот он поменялось, теперь можем ожидать их. Так. Спины, по поводу чего? А вот эти места по поводу... Ты просто рисовал кое-что, я не буду говорить больше, что это секрет. На данный момент. Потому что это пока что у меня секретики есть.
It is going to be a doozy. It is going to be an extremely tough roster. And of course, if you want to predict what the outcome of this match is and hopefully win some in-game rewards, some nice goodies.
Всего 16 команд мне... Так, ответим 2. А, 3. 3, правильный ответ. Ну, имеется 3.
Of course, we're thinking ahead to this next matchup as well. Zeta Division 0 versus Chazmat Gaming BR, and we've already said goodbye, as you mentioned, to 2 of those teams from LATAM South. This is second seed from LATAM South in form of Chazmat Gaming BR. Do you think they have what it takes to stay in the competition and continue to represent this region?
Man, it's a tough one because there's so much on the line. I mean, not only is it the last LATAM South representative at the World Finals, but their sister team, Chazmat Gaming EU, the same org, right? They got knocked out by Zeta Division 1 yesterday. So, brutal start of the World Finals here for both LATAM South.
Это получается за зерку проголосовал 85, а за КНГБ меньше 15% более. Ну, хотя что, блин.
Zeta Division 0, we're going to be welcoming them to the stage and all the teams as well. Let's hand it over to Damascus.
Если бы должно...
Et il fallait bien qu'on aille dans la foule, il y a beaucoup de bruit, est-ce qu'on est chaud Paris? Il y a du bruit, un premier match, un bon premier match, c'est l'heure de lancer le deuxième match. On a eu la Division 1 qui a gagné hier dans un clash des mêmes organisations.
Блин, вот это человек, который все просто.
Dans leur équipe, un max de bruit pour Zeta Division 0!
Кстати, очень хорошо кричит он. Вот знаешь, это надо мемчики еще кидать. А, понял. И сейчас все объясняет, да.
legends in the Brawl Stars scene for good reason.
Absolutely so. I mean, legends, not even in the making, but already accomplished, looking for more this year as well. I mean, they didn't quite qualify for MSIs. There was only one spot for East Asia, and the battles between the two Zetas were just so fierce. Zeta 1 just barely won.
Это, походу, та самая команда, которая выиграла. А в том плане то, что наверное, прошлый. Или что-то знакомое мне, кажется. Они либо кредиты, и не знаю, кто. Или китаёзы, может быть. Возможно. Да, возможно, китаёзы. Кстати, у него испанский пытаются, знаешь, сделать бум.
Un max de bruit, s'il vous plaît, pour Chazmak Gaming do Brasil!
Tufa, Pekka, and Firecrow. Edinho also in the back. Ready in case, you know, in another match they want to swap.
Нет, я бы сам какой-нибудь кетч бы придумал. Да, это. Естественно, то это да. Какой-нибудь особый кетч, например, наверное, не знаю. Ну так, со.
In LATAM, overall, a team with a lot of accomplishments and a lot of experience on the international stage.
They were extremely strong going into this year, of course, as you mentioned, being former INTZ. Those members of INTZ being Firecrow, Tufa, and Edinho, and you said, Edinho, he's going to be taking a seat for now, right? He's going to be on the bench for a bit. And Pekka, well, he's going to be taking his place. Pekka, an addition early this year, has been a complete powerhouse on this roster.
Только вот сам... вот, можно поставить таймер. Более-менее. То есть, говоря, типа, команда самое интересное. Но ничего не понятно, о чем говорят. Хотя поставили какой-нибудь русский стрим. Нет, нет, как бы официальный Brawl Stars. А то мне так просмотр больше не наберет. Ну что, болеем за Зету? За японцев наших или китайцев.
They got first place. They are literally our current world champions. But then Firecrow and Tufa, they still place top 4, so not all that far behind. This is going to be a fun match for sure, and no matter what, those guys, they always somehow manage to perform on the big stage.
Well, from the perspective of Zeta Division 0 here, right? Let's
где-то на пару секунд она остается, где-то на 7, на 8 где-то. Как по мне, Браво уже свой хайп пройдет. Ну, наверное, да, но за счет киберспорта, возможно, только подогревает интерес, наверное. Не, ну игрушка, она интересная, если говорить.
Already throughout the season, MSI champions as well. But Zeta Division 0 versus that team and taking a win over them, there are no slouches as well. You could almost say, by proxy, they did pretty well at MSI, but I think that's stretching the script just a little bit. That said, I think there's a clear underdog in this matchup. Zeta Division 0, a lot of people are expecting them to win.
И первый же футбол. Футбольчики, пацаны и девчонки.
Predicted them to win, but we'll touch on that in just a moment. First, we got to talk about our first map of this set. We're going to be heading into Brawl Ball, and here's the prediction. Oh, another 15-85.
Yeah, very one-sided for sure, and I don't blame you guys. I absolutely don't blame you guys, but I think the odds are a little bit closer, for sure. I mean, Chazmak, yes, they are the underdogs, but...
Я больше удивляюсь, что если киберспорт добро. Удивляюсь... Не, ну хотя что, блин, 3 раза было киберспорт. Особенно в том плане, то, что как бы смотрели первый киберспорт, когда Париж выиграла, затем Зета, какая-то команда, точно не помню. Ну, японцы, вроде бы, если не ошибаюсь. Затем не знаю, чем мы должны узнать на третьем дне.
At least in Brawl Ball, has fallen quite a bit in popularity recently. And you know, while it might seem shaky, if it seems shaky to you, I think that the win rate seems a little bit shaky for Zeta Division 0 on this particular mode. They only have a 33% win rate in Brawl Ball, which is a little bit surprising. And Chazmag...
Нет, хотя что, в 19 году я не знаю, конечно, что выйдет. Возможно, подпишется, опять же. И что не гиперспорт, а кибер. Тиска букву.
Will offer some good options to break open walls.
Yeah, I mean, there's few brawlers as mechanical as this 2 and Tensai and the rest of.
Кстати, могу еще кого-нибудь тут пригласить, чтобы не было скучно. Ну так все, для просмотра так.
Their opponents make them look powerless. That is going to be the goal for Zeta 0. Let's see what pick number 2 and 3 are going to be on the side of Chazmag as they want to find some answers here to deal with that Penny, and that's 2. It's going to be an Ash, bringing in a whole other level of aggression for Super Beach. I'm very curious to see how they want to, what they want to pair that with. If they maybe want to go, you know, something like more rare nowadays, like a Byron could still catch them off guard. It's just something we don't see a whole lot anymore, but it could still be enough to just power through, especially when you initially spawn really close to your opponent's goal. That can be very dangerous. We'll see though as their final pick kicks in. It's gonna be the max, so instead of healing, they'll go for more speed, so you spend less time taking damage, so you need less healing.
I really expected to see a Gale here actually, but I understand why you would want to be comparing that max speed. Yeah, and here's a Gale response. I think really the discussion on Chazmag Gaming's BR side how do you guys feel about facing Gale here? You don't mind? Okay, cool. We'll pick Max, right? Because with a tank such as this, there's really one best counter when it comes to Brawl Ball. Unless you can really open things up, you decide to go for a beat. It's Gale, dude. You lock that ball in the corner, you can throw up the twister, you can protect that ball for a full 36 seconds or so by use of that gadget.
И у нас начинается бита. Не, ну Гея тут немножко... Я думал, что это, во-первых, не Гея, а вот это вот. Про это. Наутиса. Не, ну самое интересное, тут некоторых персонажей не переводят. Чтобы на английский.
Very close to that middle line. Tensai and Kuru both taking quite a beating there. Initiating.
Не, ну самое... Сейчас пока что они не более-менее хотя бы. О! Не надо, дядя! Все. Все. Не, ну блин, самая плохая ДПМ. Потому что как бы ты не знаешь, как, например, куда стрельнет мушка. Ты вообще так. Не, ну это опасно давать мне. Надо просто луку куда-то закинуть тоже. Не, ну они зажимают очень хорошо, кстати. Бэтпик, новый супергерой. Какой новый бэтпик? Там не было такого.
Yeah, that missed mute from Firecrow also just disrupts the potential retake of the mid that Chazmag had planned. Let's see if that is gonna bite them back. So
не, ну самое интересное то, что вот этот вот чем имеется с зачистиком. Нет, ну блин, за это что-то слишком она проигрывает. В том плане то, что как бы заходит на нее сторону больше. Это вообще какой-то капец. А это вообще капец было. И 10 секунд. Это капец, если честно. Это неожиданно.
That's why they picked this guy up on the roster. That is why they are such a powerhouse now. And to take that first game off of Zeta Division 0 is such a statement.
О, и сразу вторая катка. Не забываем на синюю кнопку нажимать, 10 очков дает. А я пока могу из Brawl Stars обычно поиграть. Не, ну а чё? А Биг Пик, как бы... Не, ну хотя что, блин, слышите, как будто поехал немножко. Да, согласен. Не, вот смотри, сейчас... А, нет.
Let's see if they can hold it up as Tensai does get muted. He goes down. Guru in a tough positioning goes down too, but that burn onto Pekka keeps him too low to really attempt any
честно,
sort of
интересно то,
push.
что они просто либо же дразнить, либо что-то делать другое. Потому что нет такого, нет этого объяснения. И сейчас, вот, блин, опасно было, кстати.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing you can only get away with one time a match. Tufa, he also had an idea of going for that ball, but Kuru respawned just in time. He does have his rage meter filled all the way up. It's gonna peter off.
Есть, короче, ускорение, сейчас это заходит быстренько. А, не получится. Наверное. Не бежит. Не получится, не бежит. Кто знает. Ну, это историчек, да, согласен. Более... Вот, просто. А сейчас гол будет. Все, гол. Короче, забрали режим. А, нет. Остается он, что у нас? 50, 40 секунд остается. Да, это до конца матча. Не, ну мне немножко бы неправы, наверное, в бэке, даже не знаю. Короче, да, все. Походу за это проиграл. Ну хотя что, блин, у них еще тоже впереди. Вот самое интересное, то, что как бы... то, что... могу сказать предсказание, почему-то они проигрывают. А вот обычные, вот, например, европейского последования, они более такие выигрышные позиции. Не знаю почему. And what an explosive start here to this round of 16 match. Zeta Division 0 challenged off the bat. But as you mentioned, Global is, you know, arguably a better mode for Chasmac. So they had the matchup here. I think their draft definitely was a surprising one. And they popped off. They popped off. And just look at the energy from Chasmac. Pekka. Ладно, давай мы пойдем, удачи. Спасибо, кстати. И же как бы здесь никто не придет, мне придется опять закрывать стрим, потому что никто не приходит. Ай. Потому что как бы не есть ничего говорить, но при этом у меня... Да.
However, kills, they're not the objective here, right? It's brawl, ball. You put the ball in the goal. It is not that simple. However, Chasmat Gaming VR sure make it look that way.
Yeah, I know you're American. We know how football works over here in the MEA in Paris. Just kidding. But yeah, you're right though. Playing the objective is key, and as we are moving on here to Heist, it's gonna be key as well. You know, it's taking a very long time actually to really develop
следующий режим. О, получается с сейвами. Но это либо же победа, либо же не знаю. Ну, как говорится, будем болеть.
There are some crazy options available at the moment in Heist, and Buzz is definitely one of them that is going to be banned out here by Zeta Division 0, as well as the M's and the Barley. Chasmac banning out Buster, Gale, and Carl. First pick for Zeta Division. Let's see what they go for.
Well, they have banned out Barley, so that is one major thing eliminated for them. Here's Ruffs, and well, I guess you can play the Ruffs like a choppy. There it is. I mean, it's in the Rise Up to the Top song. Like, what were you really expecting from the dude? Response, however, not going to be Barley. It is banned out. There are abundant ways to deal with it, but Carl has also been banned out. Penny, maybe something, but anything that can pierce through those sandbags is going to be quite viable for forcing him to run the second gadget instead. Still, a lot of other simply good options that you can go for here. A lot of things that Chazmat Gaming VR could go for. They can get creative here with a couple of picks on their side.
Yeah, definitely plentiful of options, and Rico is definitely one I love. I feel like
я, наверное, уйду, наверное, потому что нет смысла, потому что один человек и все. Ладно, удачи, всем пока. Заканчиваем, ладно.